You are tuned into Kids.
In the pit.
Hey guys, it's Gabe from the Kids in the Pit podcast. Today I'm being joined by Ben Weinman from the Dillenger Escape Plan and Suicidal Tendencies. Thanks so much for joining me.
Hey,
So what
what's
are you
going on?
doing? I'm doing good. So what
Okay.
do you do in the Dillenger Escape Plan?
I play guitar in the Dillenger Escape Plan.
And for those that don't know, he does the same thing in Suicidal Tendencies. But
That's right. I'm playing also in Suicidal Tendencies for, man, about 8 years now.
damn, yep.
Yeah.
Um, so what year did the Dillenger Escape Plan start, and were you always in the band?
So technically, the Dillenger Escape Plan started probably well, our first EP that we put out with 6 songs, which was essentially our demo, was in 1997. So yeah, a long time ago. I was a very young lad. I was talking about it with our original bass player yesterday. How we can't believe how young we were when we were putting the music out.
Yep. So what you were 20 wait, what was it? 29 years ago? So you were what, 21?
Yeah, 90s. Yeah, 90, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
I saw
making
you.
me do math now.
Yeah. I saw you guys side stage at Furnace Fest, and it was so crazy with the gasoline or whatever he was
Well, that
eating.
was fun. Yeah, it was good to meet you. It was a surprise to meet you at that show. It was
Yeah.
cool because we had
It
been
was,
talking online a little bit. But
yeah.
um, but yeah, Furnace Fest uh is a legendary festival, and we've played it before, and
Yeah.
there was no way we weren't going to light that stage on fire. There's just no way it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
It's Furnace Fest. Yeah, I mean, it's Furnace.
Yep. I mean, there were no casualties, so
No, no.
yeah. Let's see. My favorite Dillinger Escape Plan song, uh, I'm trying to think. 43% burnt is good, but I feel like I probably shouldn't say that because it's like the most popular one. I'll say Jim Fear.
Oh, cool. That's one of my favorites too. That's actually written about. I wrote that about this farmer that lived on the street where I went to elementary school, and the
Yeah.
street's called Jim Fear. And it's called Jim Fear Road or some lane or something like that. And it was just this creepy farmer that like lived next door. You'd hear like roosters and machinery and weird stuff. And I always had these like sick visions that he was some crazy psycho that was just like gonna steal all of us. Just pretty horrifying as a whatever, 7-year-old or something. But so yeah, so I wrote that about kind of inspired by that.
Damn. That's really funny because the Farm Machinery, my band, we're named after a road also.
There you go. You're named after a road?
Yeah.
There's a road called that?
So in Gilbert, Pennsylvania, there's a punk festival called Camp Punksylvania, and we my other band, World of Chaos, played there, and there was a road there called Farm Machinery Road, and I was
That's
like,
a rad name, Farm Machineries. Yeah, it was cool because when I was trying to listen to it, and I was looking on YouTube, and of course I get like tons of like farm machinery stuff, which
yeah,
is
always have to
which
put band,
is
or else you just get tractors and stuff like that.
yeah, you have to put your tractor and stuff. But like for a few years, I had a full farm, so like that was normal for me looking at farm machinery. And so I was like,
Uh,
this time I'm actually looking for music, not actual farm gears.
I believe we both have chickens, right?
Well, yeah, I do. I still got some. I got chickens, and I just had my daughter crying because a rooster was chasing her around the yard.
Yeah, we have an HOA and we're not supposed to have chickens, but
I know. Me neither.
they allow it
So,
because we don't have roosters and they don't like
mm,
wake up, you know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I got giant. I got like five geese back there and like ducks and all kind of stuff. But but yeah, man, we all love the animals. But and you're in Pennsylvania, right?
Delaware.
Delaware. Okay, so
Yeah.
got a lot of land out there.
Yeah. We're
No, zero point 0.8 acres.
oh yeah.
We're in a
I
neighborhood.
thought I meant Delaware had a bunch of like empty
No, no.
land. Yeah.
Well,
Um
and yeah, there's you know the roads out there going out there. There's
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
yeah,
We're in a regular neighborhood.
yeah, there's a lot of areas if you just drive down, it'll just be nothing but farmland. We're going
yeah. That's how it is. You know, coming from Flemington, New Jersey, where I'm at,
yeah,
and
to your show in Philly, I believe, at Underground Arts, right?
yeah,
Baltimore for sure. So Underground Arts tickets are $75, so I'm not sure.
is that the that's the festival, right?
I think that's why. So we may just go to DC and Baltimore. I already bought tickets
Wait,
to this.
DC and Baltimore?
Or I forget where it was.
Okay.
Wherever it is, we
Well, if you want to go to Philly, I'll hook you up for sure.
Thank you.
That's a lot of money.
and
That's a
it's
tremendous amount of money.
21 and up, but he's allowed to go in with me. So I was like,
Right.
I can drop him off. We'd have to spend 150. And you guys,
Yeah. Oh,
that's a lot.
that's ridiculous.
Well, thank you. Then we'll probably go.
Yeah. Thank
Cool.
Isn't that your favorite venue?
yeah. So
Venue where you
Nice.
it's the venue where I first stage dove and first crowd surfed. So
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, Philly is a special place for me and Dillinger. Uh, it was really kind of like our hometown, even though we were from New Jersey. It
yeah,
was where we played probably the most coming up and where people accepted us the soonest and things like that, you
yeah.
know?
Um yeah, for sure. I heard so your show in Flemington, New Jersey, like what, almost 2 years ago at Flemington DIY.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my band World of Chaos played there like a week before that. So
Uh-huh.
that is a sick spot. Like,
It's super fun there, yeah. Yeah, I feel so happy that like the street where it's like my street, you know, where I spend all my time when I'm not away.
yeah,
And it's so cool. Flemington DIY does a lot of cool stuff.
yeah. I mean, it was really cool of you guys to do that show.
Yeah, I mean, we were just like so happy to, you know, when we did these kind of like reunion anniversary Calcul Infinity shows, it was just supposed to be that one weekend in Brooklyn, and that was it. That's all. It was just the 25th anniversary. Um, and then it was like we ended up doing 3 nights in a row in Brooklyn. So it went from one night, 2 nights, 3 nights in Brooklyn. And then we just felt like we were getting better. You know what I mean? Like we were really rusty. And then like by show three, we're finally starting to catch it. And then we're like, damn. And then we got some more offers to do more shows. So we're like, all right, we're having a really good time. It's fun. We're really enjoying each other's company. And like I said, we're just getting tighter and tighter. So we just couldn't come to terms with it's just doing that one week, you know. But now we're ready to wrap it up. It's just we can't keep going on this, and it's time to put this to rest. But we've really had a great time doing it.
Yeah,
But as far as the Flemington, back to your point, we really wanted to do a small show. Like we didn't want this to be all about just kind of like these big reunion show things, you know. We wanted to do the shows like this band was in the form that it was when we were playing DIY venues, you know. Liam joined the band right after we released the album, and he was doing all the touring on Calculating Infinity. And then and Dimitri obviously was with us, and it's like, and then James Love, our other rhythm guitar player on this one, was with us very early on as well. So we wanted, it just felt like the old days, really. And so doing that DIY show, we also wanted, it was a charity show. So we wanted to do something for charity. It was like around the holidays. So yeah, we did a big soup kitchen. We did it for like entry, you just had to bring food for the soup kitchen, and
That's
it just
great.
felt great to do it there. It felt so good. I would
Yeah.
play those shows every day if I had the time.
So, do you mean like Dillinger Escape Plan after these shows is no more shows, or do you mean just you're taking a break?
No, I mean that's it for the Calculating Infinity reunion anniversary thing. You know, like I said, it was really just to celebrate that one album with our original singer on the 25th anniversary, and kind of have a better ending to that. We never had any real closure with that. Um, like the band kind of like imploded with Dimitri right in the middle as things started to take off for us, and we just kind of like were so active and so driven that we didn't take any break to breathe and really think about like where that whole uh where that was all coming from originally as a band, just as a group of friends who were like got in a room and started making music. And we, because we had so much touring scheduled and albums booked and all this stuff, studio time, everything. So like it was like Dimitri left the band. We just kept plowing forward, and we never had a real resolution. So not only was the 25th anniversary, but it was a really great time to have that kind of closure with Dimitri in a way we were able to get with Greg um, in 2017.
Cool. So how is it being in Suicidal Tendencies, and how is it opening for Metallica?
Man, we spent the better part of last year playing Metallica shows, and that was a dream come true in many ways. For one, just playing Suicidal Tendencies is a dream for me because that band is largely responsible for me playing guitar and playing the kind of music I play. Um, the mythology of the band and the branding and the attitude of the band was highly was a huge influence on me and Dillinger and everything I did moving forward. So that was a really cool thing to get that call. And I've been doing it so long now. I might almost be the longest rhythm guitar player in the band. I don't know, but so that's a dream come true. And then to then play these stadiums at Metallica was also a dream come true. And they're just really great guys, and they're really them and their crew work really hard to to make the opening bands comfortable and make sure they sound good and they're able to do their best. So it was amazing.
Yeah, that just sounds like insane. I mean, it's not like very many people at all can say they open for Metallica, you know?
Yeah, and it's also very surreal to sort of know those guys. And um, you know, Robert and I are very close. You know, his son plays in Suicidal Tendencies with me, and we talk all the time, man. We talk well all the time, like, and so you know, I got to know him and his family as just some friends, and then to see him again in that environment, it's hard to believe. It's like sometimes I forget they are literally the one of the biggest bands in the entire world. And when you see them play, you know why. They really, it's a memorable experience.
Yeah. Suicidal Tendencies is why my mom got into like punk and hardcore and stuff like that because in
Hmm.
fifth, some kids on her bus were listening to I Saw Your Mommy, and yeah,
That.
Yeah,
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 And then I went and bought the tape.
yeah, and it's all gone downhill from here.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
might not exist if
yeah, I
because I
know.
met Dad at a show.
Yeah, so that's
there
kind
you go.
You probably
Yeah, I
won't.
remember skateboarding. I was like a little kid skateboarding, and like the older kids were on the half pipe listening to Suicidal Tendencies, and I got the tape and like, opened it up, and I was like, "Wow, these guys look nuts!" You know, there's guitar solos everywhere, and it's like it was like, yeah, that was it for me.
I'm sure Suicidal Tendencies is like a gateway for so many people and for so many bands wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Suicidal Tendencies, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they were a band that was existed in a time when metal was massive with things like the radio and MTV and stuff like that. And
They were one of the first to do like to crossover between like
exactly. And then they did that crossover thing that really nobody else was doing in a way that nobody else was doing it. So yeah, I agree.
pretty crazy. Um, so what was the first punk, metal, or hardcore show you went to, and how old were you?
Um, the first punk rock. Hold on a second. I'm gonna tell my kids to be quiet. Audrey, can you quiet down, please? Thank you.
We
She's
can't.
she's an animal. This one. She's gonna be a punk rock singer for sure.
How old is she?
Absolutely.
How old
She's
is she?
7, 7.5.
Wild at 7.
Actually, no, almost 8. Yeah,
We can't
she's
hear them at all.
wild.
Yeah, we can't.
Okay, never mind. All right, then I won't stop anymore then because I was hearing it. So,
Yeah.
um, she's yelling at my other daughter. They're in a fight in the other room. So, make sure everybody.
Yep.
They're
But
worth it.
yeah, they're great. I love just listening to them talk and fight. Even like the stuff that comes out of their mouth blows my mind. Like it's just amazing. Um, but what was my first punk show? It may have been it's either Agnostic Front or Sick of It All. Like that wasn't like a Suicidal or a band like something that was truly coming from an underground scene, like East Coast scene. I think it might have been both of them together, but
Yes, sick of it all is like a pretty common answer because there are a lot of people's. They were my first, I would say, hardcore show, but I have gone to punk shows before that.
You were 10.
yeah, wow, that's amazing. You're lucky you have such a cool mom.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
and
had
Vinny
nobody cool. I had
that
no
night.
one cool to teach me this stuff.
So that night when I saw, yeah, so Sick of It All and Agnostic Front also was, I guess, my first hardcore show.
Oh
And
wow.
Stigma, um, he just like took me right and he brought me to the stage and like he showed me his gear and he like there's a picture of me with his holding his guitar
Oh, what a legend, man.
and then like
Such a legend, that guy.
and he at like a show a couple years later we brought one of my band's shirts and gave it to him and he wore it on stage. That was pretty cool.
Cool Vinny, man. Yeah, that guy is just such a good energy, man. Such good energy.
For sure. Yeah.
That's great. I believe it. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. He helped World of Chaos get a show in Daytona Beach. Um so yeah, the dudes
Crazy.
all and Agnostic Front are all so nice.
They're real nice, and there's a lot of bands that I'm now friends with and that I play with Suicidal or even Suicidal that I was literally afraid of when I was a kid. I'd go to the shows and I was like, scared of these people, but they end up all being very like-minded and very cool.
Yeah. All right, where's your favorite place you've ever toured?
I love living in Australia, but it's very far. Um, and God, I mean, like country or city or like
You
what's
do country, city, really whatever.
yeah. I think Philadelphia shows, New York City shows, London shows, like any major city is always just such amazing energy. From Tokyo to London to New York, um, to Chicago, anywhere where there's like a real thriving music and art scene, it's always like such a breath of fresh air to get there. But then in these smaller markets, it's also amazing to see young people experience music who don't get as much exposure and they don't have as much access to shows too. That's a whole nother energy. Um, so like, man, it's really hard for me to say because the shows, there's the saying, you don't get paid for the hour you're on stage, you get paid for the 23 hours before that you're waiting around and that you're just on tour and not playing shows. So, there's always those cities you like to go to because, oh, that's a restaurant I like or that coffee shop. But as far as playing shows, man, I mean, I find something special at every show, every place. Uh, the energy that in the crowds is different, but like the cool thing about Dillinger and Suicidal is that the the people coming to see the music aren't just fans. They're like-minded individuals. They're part of the family. They really get it and they're really into it and they feel like family to me.
Yeah. Are there any like really obscure places you guys have played?
Uh, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, that was weird, but super rad. Uh, Suicidal played in Casablanca, which is Africa,
Morocco, right?
not too long in Morocco, right? Not too long ago.
14-year-olds don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I couldn't believe you knew.
I know like a lot of geography stuff, but I'm
Yeah,
a little bit lacking in other subjects. But
yeah. So Morocco was amazing. It was really interesting. So yeah, there's been a couple pretty out of the way places.
nice. The Brooklyn Monarch like suicidal show looked awesome because I'm from the videos and stuff like that, but it must have been crazy to go from stadium then play like an off show at the Brooklyn Monarch in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it was needed because it felt really good to get back close to the crowd and that again. But the thing that's really cool about the Metallica shows is the way they set it up is you do feel like you're playing a small club because the snake pit thing, it's
Yeah.
like there really is people everywhere. There's no backstage. There's no like there's this magic world behind you that nobody's access to and you come out and you open the curtain and there's people a mile away. It's like you walk through the crowd every night and walk through the crowd to the stage and you're surrounded by people right in front of you, all around you, behind you. So it does feel less than of a stadium than probably some shows like that, but it did feel really good to get back into a club after all those times playing those big places.
So you like so to get to the stage, the ring stage, whatever, you have to
Hmm.
walk through the crowd,
Yeah,
and Metallica walked through it.
yeah. I mean,
That's
there's like a barrier, there's like a little barrier going through the crowd that you can walk through, but like, you're pounding hands the whole way. People are slapping your hand and like taking pictures like the whole way through. And then when you're off stage waiting to go on, like you're right in front of, you're on, out, when you're down off the stage, getting your guitar and everything, like there's a person 2 inches behind me. Everyone's around you. There's no, you're getting ready and you're talking to people. You're like, "What's up, man? How you doing?" And they're like, "Yeah, okay, I saw you in the other city." Like while you're like literally warming up, you know?
yeah, pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Um, so what do you think the highest thing you've jumped off of with your on stages?
Man, I don't know because God, I've been doing it so long, and I always never go up there thinking like I'm gonna do stuff like that. But I mean, I've jumped off some high balconies onto crowds and things like that. But the hard thing is when I get the stupid idea of climbing stuff on stage because there's no crowd to catch you. Like I think there's this misconception that like when you jump off something really high into a crowd, like that's crazy. But like it's more dangerous for the crowd. You know what I mean? Like you're getting carried around and it's like, but like jumping off of high stuff and climbing and then onto those hard stages is just super punishing on your body.
Yeah,
Um, but it's just like, man, I just like everything to feel unpredictable. Whenever I feel complacent on stage, I get mad at myself. I just want to push harder, and like sometimes I gotta hurt myself in order to wake up and like realize that this isn't a holiday, man. I gotta put everything into this.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah, so, I mean, how high? I don't know, 20 feet, 30 feet. I don't know.
Wild.
Once I was hanging upside down in a light rafters. Like wrapped my feet and I was hanging upside down and I fell head first straight down into the pit, like in between the barricade and the stage.
Oh
And
my.
like this, I shouldn't be walking. I shouldn't be. And the security guard looked at like his face turned white. Like he's like, this guy's dead. Like he thought I was dead. I hopped back up and I was covered in like bruises and cuts and I just kept playing. And I don't know what I was able to grab onto on the way down, but something braced me a little bit.
So that was
So
Suicidal or Dillinger?
Dillinger, I was in Europe somewhere.
That's insane. But you're lucky. Like you could have died.
I'm
That's
very, no, I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you could tell your 14-year-old self anything at all, what would you tell him?
Um, Probably talk less, listen more. You know, um, and uh, and that's something that I think I could have learned as a touring musician with a band, and you know, going so hard with someone, like living with people and working with people so closely for so long. Um, and what else? I would also say you've got to do things for the right reasons, or it just doesn't work. There were so many times during the Dillinger years because I was so business oriented and I was managing the band, I was doing that stuff that like other opportunities would fall in my lap, whether it's management or other music business or things like that. And I'd always um, wear myself so thin doing the band and then like running in and out of the city for meetings and this and that, whatever. And I thought, well, if I could, it got to a point where Dillinger was my job and it started to work financially to enough for me to live off it. So then I had to do it in order to live. And that didn't feel right. That didn't feel good. So I was always looking for, it felt like other financial means to make it so Dillinger was not a financial thing. And I found that the only thing that ever worked for me was really just going back to what I do, which is playing music and, doing things that I feel honest and passionate about, not things that are money oriented. And those end up, I was able to monetize those more than I could something that I thought of as a money thing. So I definitely would say don't waste your time doing something that you don't believe in. Don't work with people that you don't believe in. Um, and focus on what you're passionate about.
I hope I can make a living with music, like maybe with playing shows, and I want to get into producing and like
Hmm.
uh
Yeah, yeah. I would say, I think when people ask me how do you make in the music business, I do say you have to play jazz, like not musically, but like in a business standpoint, you have to play jazz. You have to be able to take things that come at you and turn them into opportunity and jam with it and volley and like because you don't know where your music career is going to go and you have to take these opportunities, see how you can turn them into something that works for you, and it may be something you didn't expect or you may be in a place you didn't expect to be or yeah, I think anything that falls within the line of like you doing something that you feel honest about and passion was workshops about music or producing or stuff like that. Like there's certainly nothing wrong with doing these side things that are also related to what you're doing musically.
yeah. All right,
Hear
cool.
that? You guys hear that?
What?
Dogs barking?
Nope.
Oh wow, this little headphone thing, amazing.
And
Yeah.
Zoom
Yeah,
cuts a lot
Zoom
of stuff.
filters stuff out too, but Yep.
Cool.
Now I heard one. All right. Well, do you have anything else to add before we wrap it up?
No, man, Gabe, we've been trying to do this for a long time, and I'm so thankful you've been so patient with me. And it's an honor to be on this, and thank you for asking me. And yeah, man, looking forward to seeing you out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, and see you in Philly and DC or wherever it is.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Good
Thanks,
night.
Simon, for joining me today, and thanks to all you for watching and listening. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Spotify and other streaming platforms. Until next week, bye.
See you, man.
See ya.